Good afternoon, everyone. So we are now looking at what came in 2024 under geometric progression. Now we are asked to say the first three terms of the geometric progression are 3w minus 2, 3w plus 6, as well as 3w plus 30. Then we are told to find the value of w. So how do we find such a value? So the first thing is for consecutive terms, we have this, and that. For these terms that we are given, there is a relationship, which is always known to say that the common ratio is the same. So the common ratio, we find it is known to say the common ratio should be equal to term number 2 over term number 1, which is the same if you use term number 3 over term number 2, and so on and so forth. So this can produce the same common ratio. So how are we going to use that? So we are going to use this rule. So we have the term number 2 over the term number 1 should be equal to term number 3 over term number 2. So this is our equation that we are going to use. Now we know to say that this one is the first term, this is the second term, and that one is the third term. So we are going to substitute them like that. So we have this one as the second term. So we have a 3w plus a 6 over, we have the term number 1, which is 3w minus a 2, should be equal to our term number 2, or our term number 3, which is given as 3w plus 30, as well as term number 2, 3w plus 6. Then, when working out problems like this, we are going now to cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, this will multiply that. So we have a 3w plus 6, close open, 3w plus a 6 should be equal to, as well as these two multiplying. We have a 3w minus 2. We also have a 3w plus a 30, like that. So now, how do we now expand? So we multiply this by that as well as this. So we have a 3w open brackets, 3w plus 6. Then multiply this by the whole of that. We have plus 6 open brackets, 3w plus a 6. Then it should be equal to, we do the same for that. So we have a 3w multiplying the whole of that. We have 3w plus 30, as well as a negative 2 multiplying everything, 3w plus a 30. So with this, we can now multiply. So we have 3w times 3w, we have a 9w squared. Then 3w plus 6, we have plus 18w. Then we have plus 6, by this we have 18w plus a 6 by 6 gives us a 36. Should be equal to 3w by 3w. On the other side we have a 9w squared. Then 3w plus times 30 gives us a 90w. Then minus, we have a negative 2 by 3w. We have a 6w. Then last but not the least, we have negative 2 by 30. We are getting a plus, we are getting a minus 60 when we multiply the 2. So having done that, we are now going to work out what is common. So you will realize to say when this crosses the equal sign, it comes here, it will become a negative, of which this number and this number are equal. So when they subtract, it's going to give you 0. So we can forget about that number and work out with the remaining ones. So we have 18w plus 18w gives us a 36w plus 36. Then this should be equal to 90w minus 6w will give you 84w minus Now, having done that, we are going now to do what we call collecting the like terms. So when we collect the like terms, what we are going to do is we can take the W that side. If we can do the opposite, the answer will be the same. So we are going to say 36, this number will cross the other side, we have plus 60 should be equal to 84 W, then 36 will subtract this, we have minus 36 W. So when we add this, we are getting a 96 should be equal to this minus that, we are getting 84 W. Then divide 48 on both sides. So dividing 48 on both sides, we are getting W being equal to 2 as our first answer for the first problem. Now we are asked to say, for the second one, we are asked to say find the nth term. So the nth term of the geometric progression, nth term is given as a r n minus our 1. Now if this is the case, our a, we don't have it, but we can find it. So the first term is given as 3w minus 2. So our a is equal to 3w minus 2. So our a will be equal to 3. Having found w to be 2, we are going to put 2 minus 2. A should be equal to 6 minus 2, which is equal to 4. So our a is equal to 4. So we have our nth term should be equal to our a, which is 4. Then our r, remember, we say it's t2 over t1, of which when we divide these two, we have a 3. So our r should be equal to 3w plus 6 over 3w plus minus 2. So we are going to substitute. We have r should be equal to 3. 3. Here we are going to put 2 plus 6. Remember, this is the same as the first term, of which we have already found it, which is our 4. So we have 3 by 2 gives us 6 plus 6 gives us a 12. So we have 12 over 4, which is going to be 3. Now our r is equal to 3. So if our r is equal to 3, then we are going to put 3 here multiplied by, we have a first 4 or the nth term. So we have n minus 1 as our final answer. So the nth term of the geometric progression will not, we will not substitute anything for n. Then last but not least, the sum of the first 4 terms. So the sum of a GP is given us, there's got 2 formulas. Now since our common ratio is greater than 1, we are going to say a open brackets r n minus our 1 over our r minus 1. So this is the formula we use whenever the common ratio is greater than 1. So we are going to say the sum of the first 4 terms should be equal to our a, which is equal to the one that we found, our 4, open brackets, our r is equal to 3, then the number of terms is 4 minus 1, then divide by our common ratio 3 minus 1. So we have 4 by 3 raised to the power 4 minus 1 is 3 over a 2. So when we work out these, we are getting a value that is equal to, so we are getting a value that is equal to 54. So this is the sum of the first 4 terms. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you will subscribe and follow for more.